Everybody, it's me, Robbie here again. Just still fishing oysters today. Got 3 boxes of oysters here. See them? Some nice oysters. Choice. Remember, choice. Choice. That's a standard. Standard. A box of these, one of these trays full, you get $120 for. 120 bucks, yeah. And a box of them, I get 50 bucks for the standards. 50 for the standards, 120 for the choice. Anyway, we're just up here at the farm fishing. Got 2 young fellows working with me here for a bit. So they're up around the point here, and the other boat they're fishing up there. And what we do is I just get them to fish the oysters. And there's a lot of spat on them and stuff, so I'd rather have them just towing the oysters up, and then we take them down here. Yesterday we took down 8 boxes and we just spread them. I think you can see the oysters in the water there, eh? So we just take them up here and spread them. So I come up here this morning, they wash off with the tide overnight, so it's easier to see the spat, and I'll try to break the spat off them because they're not used to it, and it's a better chance if I break it off. Some of it might live, so I'm up here fishing these up here this morning because I want to take, I think I got about 10 trays altogether, 10 or 11 trays, and I want to take them over to my buyer and sell. So I'll just show you how it's done here. Hope the camera's in the right position here. Cha-ching. That's the way I like fishing. See, these were all fished yesterday, right? So yeah, hopefully the camera's working here. But these were all fished yesterday, so that's why they're so thick. Anyway, I'm just going through they wash up. See, they're pretty muddy when you fish them up originally, right? I'll find an oyster here, show you what I'm talking about, spat. Oh shit. Get him later, I guess. Actually, these ones ain't bad. Fine. Okay, that's a chunk of spat right there, eh? Hopefully you can see that. That's a baby oyster, and he sticks to the shell of the other oyster, right? Anyway, it's hard, when they're like that, it's hard to get them off without breaking it. So I got a little thing here. Oh, I popped him off, he'll be okay. There's the little baby one. Throw him back in. You know, and throw the good ones in the tray. So that's what there's a nice choice. So that's what I'm doing here this morning. I told them don't worry about it, you know, it's pretty intense fishing up there, heavy going. Some of the oysters are really covered in spat. Here's one right here. There's one chunk of spat, and there's another, right? Should have my gloves on. Most of the time you break them, but you know. And sometimes if you do break them a little bit, damage them, like that fellow there. This time of year in the summer when the water's warm, they'll heal back up, eh? Sometimes, because you know, a little bit of damage on them, they'll heal. So throw him in, you know, a couple years time, he'll be a big one. So I'll just run through this here and kind of give you an idea of what's going on. See, he's a standard. There's a nice choice. Standard. Spat on this fellow, a couple jumps. Most times it's going to break off. The reason we have to clean them off, the reason we have to clean them off, the Department of Fisheries says we have to, right? I mean, I'm on my lease, but it's just a rule, because there's a public fishery, you know, you can't be coming in with oysters full of spat, because that's your next generation of oysters, right? So, that's why. See, there's a fellow right there. Sometimes you can break it with your hand, eh? He's probably, I know this fellow here I'm going to break and kill. See? Peeled them apart, but that's just the way it is, right? Chunk of spat. I never usually have too much spat in my oysters up here at the farm, but whatever reason, I guess last year there was a big catch of spat on the oysters, and this year, see, that oyster there is last year's spat, and I don't know if you can see that. I have two little, and there's three, there's another one little. That's this year's, right? So there's a spat catch going through here this year, so, you know, Mother Nature, right? You gotta love her. He said it makes more work when there's spat on. It's gotta be 3 inches, so yeah, he's good. It makes more work, but the thing is, not only does the spat catch the oyster shells, or oysters, which can be a bit of a pain in the arse, but it'll catch the other shells, mussel shell. There's a spot up in the lease there's probably an acre up on the main part. I'll make a video later, and there's about an acre, and there was nothing. The mussel seed caught there 3 or 4 years ago, and the mussels grew big, and now they're kind of starting to die off or whatever. But oysters love a mussel shell. I'll find one right here. There's a There's a mussel shell, right? And it's got rough little grooves in it. So spat loves anything. It needs to be a kind of a rough surface, you know. So that acre of mussel shells, the other day I was up there sailing around, it was real calm, and every second mussel had a nice oyster about that big stuck to it. So I bet you next summer, this time next year, most of them oysters I'll be able to fish and break the mussel shell off and sell the oyster. Anyway, Mother Nature put that there, so it's free seed, right? Didn't have to buy it. So you know, even though it's a pain in the nuts when you get a bunch of mussel spat on your oysters, right? You got to look at the other part of it, that you get a bunch of free seed on shells that you don't have to deal with, right? So anyway, that's how she works. Hope the GoPro here is in the right. Anyway, if it's not, I'll make another video. So these are called well, I'm fishing in Cove Head Brackley Bay here, and as you can see there, that's them cars going down the road. That's sand dunes. On the other side of them sand dunes is the Gulf of St. Lawrence. Next stop is Newfoundland, Magdalene Islands. Anyway, that's the national park. Runs for miles and miles and miles. Starts in Cavendish and ends up the road here, 6 or 8 miles to Delbert. There's the wharf over there where I fish lobsters out of. I sail under that bridge every day. Anyway, it's a pretty spot. We tourist around. So yeah, that's what I'm up to today. Like I said, just trying to sort through these, and like I said, I'd rather try to break off the spat and see what I can save, right? I dumped some oysters here one day last week, so yeah, there's a few boxes here. I don't like see these 4 buoys. these 4 buoys here because that's giving me my marker. When we come to dump oysters, I just dump them inside of these 4 buoys, right? So they're easy to find and refish. So I dropped the boys off up there at the other dory, and they're into some good, nice, choice oysters up there this morning. Yesterday was our first day back at oyster fishing, so anyway, I dropped them off. So I said I want to come up here and fish this stuff up and take it and go and sell it. And the oyster buyer, he'll grade them choice and standard, and he gives me good money for them. So you know, I'm kind of hoping I'll average $70 a box, right? So 10 boxes is $700. That's kind of the goal. We get 10 boxes a day for a little while. There is quite a few oysters up on the leash right now, but after a week or two, you know, you may not get 10. You might only get 6 or 7 for a bit. You know, you get the cream off the crop. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's just like I said. That's how she's done. So these oysters here, even though we're in Brackley Cove Head Bay, actually right now, like this up here is Cove Head Bay. It's a big bay, but it's not too big. And then like, I have 4-acre lease here. I don't know if you can see the buoys. Buoy there. There's a buoy there. Buoy there. And this white buoy. This marks 4 acres. But over there, I have 24 acres that runs all around that point. See, it's just like a little river almost type of thing, right? And there's another, like a smaller bay, it's called Brackley Bay. It's up there, right? So the boys are just around the bend there. I'll make a video later when I get over there. So you know, it's pretty intense fishing over there. You're just lifting shells and everything. They already broke a set of tongs here this morning. I got 6 or 8, 10 pairs of these probably, because you know, you break a set. If you only got 3 pairs and 3 are working, you break a set, one fellow's got nothing to do, right? So pretty important you have extra equipment with you at all times. So usually, well, I forget what it costs now, 60 or 80 bucks. Put these handles in. It's some kind of a spruce. It comes from New Brunswick. I forget what kind of spruce it is, but it's flexible, right? But up there, the shell, it's so heavy going because there's a lot of shells and mussel shells, and you know, you're bound to break tongs, right? So anyway, no, that's the operation. Just thought I'd make a little video here this morning. I got to get back at it, so I'll make a video later on there this afternoon of 3 of us up there and show you how it's really done. Alright, thanks.